Hello, hi. This is Bright Wolf, and here, and I'm just going to kind of try a new way of filtering some new information for this video. For this new video, I've got a few things to cover, and I wanted to talk a bit more about my starseed side of my life. I'm from New Zealand. I am currently a fashion student, and I'm studying in the creative arts industry. I am also 28 years old. I'm an Aquarius. I affiliate with the Syrian race, the dog people, which is why my name is Bright Wolf. I've just always had an affinity to the wolf people. Yeah, and I also have had interactions with star people. I had my first real interaction when I was 16. I went to sleep one night, and it was a different type of night. I drew a huge big heart symbol in a pentagram on the front of my door, and within the week I woke up on the couch, and it was a different kind of night. It was foggier. I was a bit more relaxed in a meditative state, and I looked outside, and there was flashing lights outside my window. I then proceeded to feel tugging on my feet, and I looked down and I saw two little grey people looking back at me. They were pretty cute, and then they proceeded to black me out. So that was my first experience, but I have channeled what they were doing, and they were just aligning my magnetics. And yeah, so anyway, I'm going to get on with the subjects today. I've got a few things to talk about. It's not all integrated. It's not one big kind of like, I haven't got discipline in how I speak, so excuse me if I jump back and forth. I am an air sign. So yeah, I thought I'd first talk about relationships. I currently have been dating someone for about 3 years. We are different people. She is a fire sign, I'm a air sign. And I can tell you right now that I feel a fire in her, and it's not always positive. Sometimes I really rack her up. She definitely experiences a lot of new emotions from some of my vortex energy, which I guess for a lot of air signs it can be difficult to relate to fiery people, because when you're just trying to communicate, you can fire up people who are not as in touch with some of these more oxygenated emotions. So I wanted to talk about relationships, and I wanted to say that basically that if you are a different age to someone, or a different star sign, or you come from a different background. My girlfriend or partner, she was raised Catholic, though she does not believe in traditional Catholic Christianity. Her parents were. She has become more open to things as she's met me. So it's been kind of a slow process opening her up to different ideas, especially, but she's caught on quick. And a little bit more about me: I am fully going raw foodist. I'm not even going vegan. I'm trying to eat raw food, cut out anything cooked. I've been inspired at the moment by Jericho, by Genesis, Jericho Sunfire. He's I'll get into that in a second, but I'm going raw food so that I can completely be on a high vibrational diet. It's very important to eat green things. Jesus said, "You are what you eat," and if you eat meat, it's just dead, decaying DNA. And when you put that in your body can't absorb it. Your body is a plant. Even though it is flesh, it has photosynthesis, and it absorbs sunlight, which is why vitamin D3 cures most cancers and flus. And we are like pretty much starseeds know, if you're listening to me and you understand about the sun. The sun is like the most powerful thing you can have to really power up your immune system and your chakras. So yeah, I guess. Sorry, 1 second. This music's really kind of like not my buzz. Oh, I can't be bothered. Who cares? Okay, so yeah, relationships. It's important to choose someone who you relate with on a heart chakra level, and it's important that while you are developing with a person, that you don't suffer from energy drain. It can be very hard, especially when you really love someone. But if you overgive and you output, that person can take you for granted in their learning processes, and that's not a bad thing. But sometimes it's important to have a little bit of protection around you, and let that person know that there are lines that can be drawn in your own maturity, because no one's perfect. So relationships, it's a bouncy thing, and it's important to teach that person, but also to do your own work, and not rely on a codependent relationship, but to actually encourage that person's growth, by being an example, not by forcing yourself on them, forcing yourself down their throat. And it's also important to let that person grow, because if they're around you, they will build off your positive energy and start to flow in the right direction. So yeah, it's not just your partner that you have to protect yourself from, because you can be more intimate with your partner, but energy drain, there are a lot of people who will be attracted to your light as you raise your Merkaba and your Kundalini. Like, as I've become raw foodist, I have trimmed down quite a lot, and I'm starting to feel a lot more of my sexual root energy vibrating up through my body, and that attracts a lot of people. And your youth, like a lot of starseeds will notice that they attract a lot of people who need healings, that want to pick fights or create obstacles for you, because really what their soul is saying, that they want a healing. So if you see someone who's attaching to you, or you attract a lot of arguments around you, not directly with you, it's because these people are seeking out your light so that they can have an understanding and a healing from your presence, because spirit works stronger around light workers, and people who work with the planets and understand cycles. It's important on full moons to protect yourself. I found that a lot of arguments happen on a full moon, so it's important to be around positive people, to be able to not run away, but definitely to be able to have level boundaries with people and say, I cannot have arguments with you over this time, and to be around strong, supportive people. I've found that earth signs really support anyone who is a channeler or an air sign. So Geminis, Libras, you guys need Tauruses and grounding signs in your friendship and your social circle. So yeah, moving on. My Starseed Awakening. Who I am as a person. Hang on, I'm just going to change this music because it's kind of like, it's not really my tone. Hang on. Sorry about this, guys. Starseed Awakening. I have been on the path for about 10 years, and I have I've been on the path for about 10 years. Not intentionally. Some of it was kind of just conducted, like, there we go. Some of it was brought on by my curiosity. I was a very curious child. I was always the one staring at the stars. I've wanted to fly since I've been about 10. When I was younger, I have had a couple of experiences where I was open to the adult world at a very young age. Not only the adult world, but the occult world. And so I had a lot of early teachings. One of my first best friends was already into tarot and the occult, and I was a prolific dreamer from a young age. My parents brought us up chanting, not chanting, but in a Eastern kind of throat chakra group where we would sit and chant and learn to vibrate our chakras. It wasn't necessarily a religion. It turned out the religion was based on previous teachings, but the point was we learned to meditate and chant from a really young age. So I really appreciated that growth. It's important to have people in your life who from a young age can really just encourage you to understand what your third eye is, to take a step back and from conventional society. As I said, from my first encounter with Greys, I also had influential people, and I've always questioned the unknown. Like, I've had strong astral experiences. I've also had negative sides to my, it's not all been roses and peaches, it hasn't all been just like love and light, like the typical love and light upbringing. I've been in mental hospitals. I've been put away for my beliefs pretty much. I spent about 2 years in a hospital recovering when I first opened up my third eye, and I really encountered the reptilians. I encountered them in 3D pretty much, and it's what you'd call a shamanistic awakening. I definitely had an upgrade, but it wasn't as pleasant at the time. My chakras I didn't vibrate well with the opening, and I was in full awareness of their presence, which kind of put me in a stressful state. And this is why I think I need to be on YouTube teaching, is because for any people that are opening up, I recommend it because the shift's coming on the planet. A lot of people in Sedona know what I'm talking about. We've got the hybrids coming to the planet, and we've got different people remembering and making connections about their starseed background, origins, where their DNA strands are located in space. So I connect to the Syrian dog people. I have a connection with the Lurians, the lion people. I have a connection to the hawk, the eagle people. So getting back on track, as you awaken your abilities, you will become aware of the negative, bottom feeding, the death attracting entities that hang around. And if you look there, you wonder what's on the dark side, I got a full view to what was there. And it was a hard lesson to learn because I thought I would never recover from the awakening, but shamans, when they take ayahuasca and stuff, they see through the eyes of an anaconda. The Egyptians used to associate spiritual enlightenment with the cobra on the third eye, so I obviously went through a Kundalini awakening which scared me, and my family didn't know what to do with me because I was completely fear-stricken for a while, and they did what parents do when you are the black sheep. They threw me to the wolves, pretty much. They threw me away and tried to fix me by sedating me, and I had to go through some processes, but that I can say to you right now that is to just do your spiritual grounding. It is not a good idea to pump your body full of medications. They have so much fluoride in them that they will eventually shut down your chakras and give you cancer. There was a point where some of these medications I've been on totally destroyed my ability to walk. I was going into cognitive shutdown where I couldn't even move my body. The greatest thing a star child can do is to heal yourself, and to learn to heal yourself is really important. So there's lots of struggling when you try to wake up. Everyone's different, and I hope that the work that some of us are doing is going to make it lighter for other people, because I would hate for everyone to go through the repression that it takes just to say that you're open to the idea of aliens, because the generation before you isn't, and they will totally shut off when you mention abductions and stuff. But then again, it's like right now my family are totally open. They're totally open to everything. They ask about ET races. They joke about the reptilians now. So it's like, as you mature in your understanding, people who are gel with your vibration will lighten up. So you just have to stay strong. You just have to stay strong. That's been my journey, and just with family pressure, it's just better to have a group of strong friends that you can talk to. Don't open up everything to your family unless they really, don't talk to your family about everything, but at the same time don't shut them out, because they need to grow as well. They brought you into this world, and even though your family is just your family, you can still teach them. So the planet's taking a new direction, and I feel that it is too. I think we will reach a point where people will, the saints and the yogis will start coming through. People will be able to levitate and do more miracles. There's people like Chris Angel out there who are leading the way with that stuff. As the fourth dimension awakens to that, we will be able to do the things we do, which I mentioned Jericho Sunfire before. He is currently a breatharian on the planet. He is living solely off basically his own liquid and prana. He's not eating. He hasn't eaten for 3 years. He is one of the people that I would say that is leading the way with the superhuman kind of ideas that are coming through, where the physical world doesn't matter anymore. I'm finding that we're so elevating so fast. Like, people on eating meat and just brought up on dead bodies for the last 60 years, and it's I can see why people are wanting to just live off fresh air and plants, and move towards the electromagnetic system. And you say we can live off liquid through our own saliva. I believe that. We're 80% water. Most of the blood can be converted into energy, which is why it's always oxygenated. It pumps the organs. Why not pump the soul? I think that it is possible. I will eventually try. Breathinaryism. I'm aiming towards it. I'm going through the right channels, preparing my body, doing moving off cooked foods onto fruit, onto high vibrational powders like maca, getting my amino levels right. Copper. Copper's a good one to try. Your body is magnetic, and definitely try adding higher metal compounds in your monatomic gold. Eating your mufkut and your mana. Do it while you're young. Purify your body with gold. Monatomic gold is basically the compounds that make up pure gold, but in a orbitally rearranged elemental monatomic arrangement, which can clean your DNA to the point that you are reaching Christ consciousness. So I think this generation needs to do that. So young people, please look into that. There should be nothing wrong with taking gold as a vitamin. And just looking after your body, getting off meat, because all that blood and death. The Egyptians knew that when you rose, the gods would weigh your soul against a feather. And what they were talking about is how much bloodshed was in your DNA, how much blood was on your soul, how much hurt you'd done to the planet. So please, you need to realize that you will stay in the lower reptilian brain as long as you are feeding on fear and death. And it's a hard thing to do, but the body is designed to live for a very long time. It's just that we're only designed to eat plants and light. The planet's going in a new direction. I reckon eventually we will reach a point where we will be able to live off our own positive energy, and the star children will be able to teach us how to physically manifest enough aura energy to feed our pranic body, which is what monatomic gold is. Egyptians said it was food for the car, which was the soul, the vehicle for the soul, the light body. So our magnetic body needs these high minerals to be able to function, and that means grounding, especially if you're doing your work. Don't just reach for this in one day. Ground a lot. Love out to people in Sedona, and love to Santos Bonacci, love to people. So with the abductions and stuff, I don't really reckon they're abductions. I just reckon, like, at the moment I'm contacting my guides through dreams more. It's more, I've had 3 dreams so far where I've been left while the ships left the planet. So I think it was a sign for me to wake up and actually get back on the consciousness trip, and to actually start helping people again, and to be part of the Starseed Awakening. I don't want to be left behind on the 3rd dimension worrying about relationships and marriage and stupid things. It's not about that at the moment. It is about having people to love and heart connections, and I still have a partner, but all I can do to help people is to be myself and to be open to every opportunity that I have in the world, and it's very hard to do, because when people see you going up, they instantly see you as a rival, and I'm not about that. I'm actually about encouraging people to open up. So I'll just quickly move through this because I only want to do half an hour videos. I'd guess start working with symbols and sigils. Start creatively interpreting, practice channeling every now and then, even if it's just writing down a symbol and seeing what it means to you, or designing a sigil that you can put above your bed that will either attract good relationships or protect you if you're having problems. learn to manifest. We're all magicians. You know, Jesus said, "Don't you know ye are all gods?" And what he was saying was that, you know, you too have the power that I have, the Christ consciousness. You know, the Kundalini that reaches your third eye juice. That's connection you have with yourself, and the light you have is inside yourself. So yeah, artistically it's good to step in that direction. As I said, I'm a fashion student. I'm studying fashion. I started out doing other things like hairdressing, and I'm into fashion. So I've just started designing my astrology Bright Wolf t-shirts. I will be selling them in New Zealand, but if it's a real special need, email me and I'll make one up, and within reason I'll ship you one. Yeah, they've got the Tree of Life on the back. I'll see if I've got one. 1 second, guys. Just wait there for 1 second. Yeah. So this is the panther with the zodiac, and on the front it explains the origins of Jupiter and Zeus and how they combine the two. And in Latin it translates to Jupiter and Zeus, which is Jesus. So, and on the back it's got the gnarly Tree of Life. So yeah, Alios. These are the t-shirts I'm making. I'm in Mount Maunganui in New Zealand, so I'll give my email at the end of this video if you guys want to email me. I am on Facebook, and as I said, I'm encouraging more people to come out and talk about the awakening, talk about contacting star people, open to, not aliens because that's not what they like being called, but open to the idea of visitors that have soul connections to you. It's about love. Everything's about love. No magic can be done without love. No manifestation can be done without love. No honesty can happen without love. No self-analysis or mirror work can be done without love. You know, no growth can be done without encouragement, without a helping hand. And I also wanted to talk about using your chakras properly. You know, it's good to work on your heart chakra and be open to looking at yourself, realizing when you have something trigger you. If someone does something and it really triggers you, you know you've still got an immaturity to work on. So like my partner, when we have arguments and she threatens to walk out of my life, or to say, oh, I want to do this or I want to do that, and I react in a certain way, I realize that that's a growth issue that I've had, and that I won't really lose that person if I'm being myself. And it's also about being honest and realizing that that relationship statuses aren't everything. It's about taking care of the person inside the person, not who they are on Facebook. So always look out for people's hearts. Make sure you're doing that, and never hurt people just to get even. I know this is basic stuff, but some people need to learn it. You know, never go out for revenge just because someone else has had an experience that you haven't had, or you want to get even or experience that. I mean, in the past I've had I've got sexual addictions as well. Like, I've been really obsessed about root chakra stuff, thinking it's always going to be about, you know, how good looking I am, or how many flirts I can get. Even while I've been in relationships, it's been very destructive, some of my relationships. So that's been one of my issues, is that that root chakra stuff is not going to make you a better person. And the fact is that this is a really good tea. This This is chai tea with cinnamon. So, yeah, so while you help people and you're working with chakras, because when you do your work on chakras, sometimes people can see those as distractions, but you have to be honest with people and say, look, I am working on my my core chakra today. So that's why I work out a lot. I make sure that my core chakra is strong, because I'm an artist. I need a lot of basically like warrior energy, because I'm putting out my message onto my shirts, and I do a lot of my work comes from passion, and I need a lot of physical energy to do that, which is why I ground when I go running, and I do yoga, kung fu, meditation. I don't meditate as much, but I do meditate. Sometimes I'll go into a trance, but most of the time I just get out and get fresh air, which is what the body needs, is to be grounded. Your feet need to be on wet grass or at the beach every now and then. And as long as you're looking after your body, a lot of these negative people that are bringing you down, going, oh, the New World Order is going to take over the world, and fluoride's getting to everyone, and we're all going to get cancer, and Fukushima's going to get us. That's their trip, because they are afraid of issues that they haven't looked at. Why are they so angry about that stuff? It's because some of them are still heavy smoker addicts. Some of them are still hardcore drinkers or have eating addictions, or some of them are workaholics, or some of them are passive aggressive people that haven't dealt with their issues. It's like sometimes all you can do is be supportive, but you don't let people get you down until you just plant seeds. Encourage people. Some of these people that I'm talking about have actually helped me move forward. Like, suggested that I quit smoking. I did that. I quit smoking. I felt great as soon as I did. So yeah, you've got to help people work with your abdominal chakras. As you move on to raw foods, you'll realize that the Kundalini, or the two snakes, comes out in your abdominals. You have a lot more raw energy. At the bottom of your spine, there's a harmonic bone, which is shaped like a pyramid. I don't want to overload this video too much, but the point is that your spinal column needs to be full of positive thoughts, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So look after your body, don't take on people's crap, and as you evolve, people will connect consciously. You don't need to verbally tell them. So yeah, and also taking people under your wing, do that. Really, encourage a few people if you can. There's some people that just need a nudge, and they'll be fully on the path. I met one guy about a few months ago. He saw one of my t-shirts, and the next day he went raw vegan. He was studying astrology. He was on the path completely in 1 week, and I was just so impressed with this dude. And I got his email. We keep in contact, and I made a true friend within one week, and I was like, wow. So yeah, that's all I can say, is that sometimes people just need a nudge. Animal spirits. Animal spirits are the consciousness that is above all the moral crap we deal with. They have the highest moral energy ever. They deal with loyalty, they deal with honor, they deal with divine protection. They heart chakra guardians. That find an animal totem that is strong and work with it. If you find that you're loyal and that you vibrate to a certain color, pick something like a lion, or if let that animal come to you. Some people will see with their pineal gland, which will take longer to manifest in the physical world. So I can actually see the spirits sometimes. I've seen animal spirits, even pets that have passed over. It's actually very nice that I can see my dog that passed on. It's still good to see him. Some people will feel like an animal. Some people will scan and be able to just visualize it and see into the other dimensions. Some people will just be stronger in dreams, but however you do it, make sure you choose an animal that affiliates with your heart chakra, and look into it, look up. I mean, I know that like I am a wolf person, but today on the way home I was walking and I had to deal with a lot of traffic, and I walked about 5k from Polytech, and as I was walking home, I left my car at home today. I had a tiger totem look after me today, just warning people that I didn't, I had a circle of protection around me, that I've been doing my work not to mess with me, not to bombard me with shit, with all the negative vibrations and stuff. So and some days I do take on different energies, and it's okay. It's part of the shape-shifting process. So and if you start channeling feathers, that's a really good place to start. Is just if you're new to awakening your vibrations and you don't know much about the Kundalini and your chakras, just focus on just for tonight, focus on a feather, just a blue feather, and watch it glow. And as you go to sleep, let it drift onto your third eye and embed in your soul. So, and also the feminine and the masculine. I mean, I've been thinking about it a lot. I mean, last week my hair was down to my shoulders, and I definitely affiliate with the feminine more, but I've just realized that, it's okay to listen to Mother Earth and your intuition, and it's not always about being right or being strong. It's actually about being strong is about listening to the mother and following your heart and your intuition, and it's also about listening to other people and letting other people strengthen you, and not admitting you have all the answers. I mean, the most stupid thing you can do is say you know everything. So past lives. A lot of people who are awakening now have had past lives in magic, or have been part of the Celtic or the tribal past lives. Had a lot of tribal lives or magic input. Hooking up with a lot of people these days who have had soul paths with you. One of my best friends, I'm pretty sure, was a Merlin in the pagan world. He's still a Merlin today. There's not that much I can cover in this video, but growing up, one of my best friends was gay. I mean, I wanted to talk about homosexuality and say that I know that homosexuality is accepted, but it's also about accepting your own sexuality when you come out of the closet as a starseed as well. It's also about realizing that it's kind of the same but different. I mean, but sexuality in itself should be something that shouldn't be labelled, and it's the same with your third eye experiences and being able to connect with the feminine. So part of the blockages in men that stop them from reaching feminine energy and you getting psychic abilities is that people tell them that if you get in touch with your inner nature, or in touch with your inner youth, you're gay, or if you have colour in your hair, you're gay. If one of your best friends is gay, you're gay. I mean, these are things that we need to get over, especially if you want to help people. I mean, I'm not even good. I mean, this homosexuality, it's okay to look into other people's lives and have an open point of view. And there's also your root chakra has got so much shit put on it. People want to mold you from a young age. So I got raised pretty much by Wiccan people with open points of views. I personally like girls. Not that I need to defend that because that's just stupid, but there's also magnetic sexuality, which is about exploring your own sexuality, not putting a label on it, and just seeing intuitively how you feel about life and about it's about sexually attracting things at a high level. loving, being open to God. I mean, they say that your connection with God is an orgasm, so I think that that's okay. Whatever you want to experience is sexually is okay, but your connection to God, being connected to yourself sexually, is the most important thing. So it's a lot of people are root chakra oppressors. I was at a party the other night, and I calmly said to a friend that I hadn't seen in years, I said, he said to me, I remember you slept with one of my ex-girlfriends. I'm like, did I? I can remember. And I felt really bad, but this guy persisted to bring things up, and then I said, it's alright, man, you're a handsome guy, I'm sure you've got a girlfriend. And he instantly asked if I was gay. And there's these people that challenge you for just being nice or being open, and have to challenge you at the most basic level, which is your identity. Don't let people do that. I just brushed it off with a bit of comedy, but do not let people repress any emotion or label you. Most of these people repress themselves, and they have to extort that or over accentuate their insecurities onto you. I just looked at them and I said, not that it matters, but I'm just part French, which is my way of saying I don't give a toss what you think. But yeah, there's a lot of root chakras oppressors. Sometimes your parents can be root chakra oppressors. I'll get into, this is the first video, so I've got lots to talk about, especially, I'm going to teach you how to charge crystals. I'm going to teach you planetary honing skills in your chart, so that you can build character on full moons. Root chakra oppressors, dogmatic vampires, people who have to create a weakness in you by putting a belief on you that doesn't feel right. If you're the only light worker and you're surrounded by Christians, that can be an opportunity for vampirism. It can also be an opportunity for growth. I find that a lot of Christians are more open these days, and that slowly but surely light workers and Christians are realizing that the Christ consciousness is one thing, and that also Christians have to be open to ET experiences, because we're not alone. And also the Scorpio syndrome, which is something I kind of have been learning about, is that it's that whole needing to get one up sexually on people, needing to get one over your partner by being more attractive, or needing to feel validated by being sexually adored. These days, dating is an addiction, and it's just like gambling. Real connections happen when you're being yourself, and when you're out there loving people, and you shouldn't need to hurt anyone to be more popular or get your own way. So in no way should you be, but at the same time, because the Scorpio in astrology is the genital chakra, so you have to love your spark, but at the same time not sting people or use it as a over exaggerated weakness, so that sometimes you're really bold in life and sometimes you're competitive. It's about the Scorpio syndrome. It's like being too overly sexual for reasons that don't suit your natural growth, which should have a lot of man and libido anyway. It's like, it is about loving yourself but not overdoing it for the limelight. Yeah, so but it is about being in the limelight. That's what I'm saying, is that it's okay to be good looking, or have a sense of style, have something that's yours, or be attractive in a group full of people that you want to like you. But it's it's not okay to go out looking for every opportunity to have a sexual encounter just because you're a certain age or a certain in a certain place, or you're unhappy in yourself. You know, it's about loving yourself. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say, guys. You know, I covered a lot today. This is Bright Wolf. I'm from New Zealand, and the Syrian Wolves are sending you love, and they want you to start being more loyal, especially to your community, and start stepping out into the light a bit more, and getting out of the 9-to-5 death machine that seems to be sucking everyone and draining them of their age. Getting off, you know, the dogmatic feelings of, you know, speak up. Don't let your parents eat meat forever and get cancer. Don't let your friends smoke cigarettes to the point where you're putting them in the grave. Don't just start eating fruit that's alive. Don't sedate yourself because you haven't had a chance to just stare in the mirror every now and then and say you love yourself, you know, and that everyone loves you. You know, just be yourself, be positive, and do your spiritual work. So yeah, peace out, guys.